Roger Twyble, Al Bernstein with you. This is the USA against Cuba amateur boxing. We're set for the 112-pound classification. Those are the flyweights.
Ladies and gentlemen,
here's Jimmy Lennon.
Second event this evening, United States versus Cuba. In the flyweight division 112-pound class, introducing to you, representing Kronk Boxing Stable of Detroit, Michigan, Steve McCrory. His opponent, representing Cuba out of Havana, Pedro Reyes.
Steve McCrory from Detroit and Pedro Reyes of Cuba, 112 pounds flyweight.
Rodriguez de Venezuela.
De Venezuela is the referee. An international group, obviously, for this USA-Cuba competition. And if we are to believe statistics, at 5'5" is McCrory, and some of our notes have 4'9" for Pedro Reyes, but they look almost even in height. As a matter of fact, Reyes looks like he could be 5'9" instead of 4'9".
A typo somewhere, perhaps. Reyes obviously a little bit taller than McCrory. McCrory, the brother of Milton McCrory, the WBC welterweight champion in the professional ranks. And McCrory has quite a string going. He is 6-0 in dual meet competitions on the international level, so he'd like to keep that string going.
Reyes with his back to you right now. Both fighters with the white trunks. McCrory with the red sash around the middle of the United States. 112-pound flyweight competition. Reyes is a teacher in Havana, and he comes in with a couple of good body shots right there. There's a good straight left hand. He has McCrory in the corner.
Early in this fight, Roger, is a caution giving to Reyes. I think that McCrory, a little bit confused with the southpaw style of Reyes, the height and reach advantage for Reyes, is giving Steve a lot of problems right now.
Reyes is 25 years of age. A good right hand by Reyes. And that was definitely a typo on our notes because he is taller than McCrory, and he has a pretty good upper body on him. So we're better than halfway through the first round. He throws that looping left. It's kind of a semi-uppercut hook, isn't it, Al?
Yeah, and that's the punch that McCrory would like to counter with his own straight right. So far, he's not doing it, but it's something I think he'll need to do in this fight if he's going to be effective.
And a double up with the left by Reyes, and he's able to land to the midsection and to the head. And McCrory looks a little tentative in the corner. Reyes would like to get McCrory in that corner if he can. When he had him earlier in the round, he was able to land 4 or 5 very effective punches. There is a look on the face of McCrory that says, I don't know if I believe who I'm in here with right now.
Well, they've never fought, these two fighters. Reyes has fought, he's 1-0 against the United States in dual meet competition. He fought Michael Collins and beat him in 1983. But these two fighters are unknown quantities to each other, and so far McCrory is finding out that Reyes is a tough fighter.
Reyes with the age advantage. He's 25, McCrory just 20 years of age. And of course, Emmanuel Stewart in the corner of McCrory out of the Kronk stable in Detroit, Michigan. They've turned out a number of outstanding fighters through the years. Coming to the conclusion of the first round of this 112-pound classification flyweight bout from Reno, Nevada. Of the United States out of Detroit, Michigan, and Emmanuel Stewart, one of the trainers from the Kronk gym. Pedro Reyes, his competition from Cuba. And now these two fighters will meet again on April the 13th in the World Championship Challenge.
It's an interesting matchup. They've gotten champions from all around the world to come together and fight, some of the best in each weight division. And indeed, McCrory and Reyes have been chosen for that competition. And this will give us a good idea of what may happen on April 13th. But right now,
Reyes with a solid left hand, a couple of solid left hands. And look at McCrory making a face at him. McCrory came out at the beginning of the round and landed a couple of effective punches. That got Reyes' attention in a hurry, and the left-hander has come back now to counter that with some effective work of his own as McCrory lands again with the left.
McCrory is leaning in with the right hand, trying to get that right hand home against the southpaw, and it's not getting there, and he is leaving himself wide open for counter shots.
You can see Reyes more or less a slapping right hand. He is a left-hander. That is his punch.
You'll note that McCrory is on his left foot is on the inside of the right foot of Reyes. It is not where you want to be against the southpaw. You can see you saw it in that sequence rather effectively. You want to be on the outside of that right foot of the southpaw where you can hook to the body or land the lead right.
Footwork is so important in fighting. That's a good point, Al, because so many people watch it and all they look at is the hands, the head movement. You don't see the foot movement.
That's where it all starts, and especially when you have a right-hander fighting a southpaw. It's just a fundamental thing that you've got to make work for you.
McCrory slipped in a right, and Reyes comes back with a strong left, knocked him against the ropes. You know, so often we hear why left-handers are so tough for right-handers. Are right-handers tough for left-handers ever?
I think no, because they face so many. But we have seen from time to time on our pro boxing show, two southpaws face each other, and they get all confused.
McCrory down to the floor, but that's just a slip. McCrory has been more aggressive in the second round. He seemed rather lackadaisical in the first round. And when you have just 3 rounds, you can't be lackadaisical at all.
Well, that's one of the key differences between this and the professional fights we do. You've got to get your job done in those 3 rounds. And even one round that you take off can be disastrous.
McCrory with a pretty good left hand right there. Once again, his brother is Milton McCrory, and this young man of 20 years of age has been boxing for 10 years. So even though he is young, he's been around this fight game for some time. Reyes is 25 years of age, a teacher in Havana, Cuba. Now a warning. They can take away some points out.
They are indeed. It looks like. Well, they're fixing the. I think some of the equipment for Reyes. They want someone to come up, I think, and deal with his headgear.
They stopped the clock 16 seconds before this the second round.
Some blood from the nose of Reyes. And here is the key difference between professional fighting. They would never stop a fight for a nosebleed and take a fighter over. In this case, they do that.
And Reyes, McCrory mixing it up on the ropes as we come down to the end of round 2. Reyes looks determined. There is Pedro Reyes of Cuba in his corner as we get set for round 3. And I think, Al, you made a good point. We were talking about McCrory being a little bit lackadaisical, and you said that's a big difference between the amateur 3 rounds and professional. And once again, that goes back maybe to training. You train with professional fighters. You watch a lot of professional fighters, and you see that they start a little bit slowly, and then they turn it on. And possibly that was McCrory's problem in the opening round.
McCrory is landing a couple good left hooks and some right hands. The left hook, he's not noted as a left hooker, but he's landing that punch now.
He's exchanging punches right now with Reyes, and the mouthpiece slips out of the mouth of the Cuban fighter, Pedro Reyes. And once again, they'll bring it back to the corner, stop it, wash it out.
McCrory off to a big start here in this round, and in a way, this is a break for Reyes because McCrory had some momentum going.
The second round he came out and really was very aggressive in the opening moments, and Reyes was able to counter it.
McCrory is effective when he's on the inside trading punches with Reyes. Much the same case as Jose Rosario in the light flyweight fight, in which he was effective on the inside but couldn't do well at long range.
During the 3-round bout, there is really no room for being lackadaisical, no room for showmanship. You just have to go in and in 3-minute rounds get your business done and be very effective about it in international boxing.
You talked about professionals and amateurs training. In Detroit, the mix has been effectively made by Emmanuel Stewart, where, of course, he's got champions like McCrory, Thomas Hearns, and a number of other fine professional fighters, and he's got amateurs in there. It's, after all, run by the city, the Chronic program, and they all train together.
Good left hand there by McCrory. These two fighters have a common opponent. Last year in the USA-Cuba dual meet, Reyes stopped Michael Collins, and McCrory has defeated Michael Collins in his amateur boxing career.
And Collins will be one of the chief rivals for McCrory to make the Olympic team, the United States Olympic team in '84, and of course those Olympic trials later on this year, what all of these fighters, the American fighters, are pointing for.
There are more than Stephen McCrory in the 112-pound division. There are, as Al mentioned, Michael Collins, several other fighters in all those weight classifications vying for that prestigious spot. Reyes has done this fight with his left hand. He has had a big left.
Time is running out, I think, on Steve McCrory. He needs to get inside, I think, where he's done his best work.
Reyes is showing a lot of movement in this, the third and final round. He knows that he's ahead, and he doesn't really have to get inside and mix it up. He can stay away and land the jab.
And I want to give us points for never once saying Milt McCrory instead of Steve McCrory in this fight.
We give ourselves a pat on the back every so often. Good left hand right there by Pedro Reyes. And another left hand. 10 seconds left to go in this fight. Flyweights, 112-pounders, Pedro Reyes of Cuba and Stephen McCrory of Detroit.
It's time.
Cuba, Steve McCrory of Detroit, Michigan in the United States. And Al, any comment from you as to how you feel this thing's going to go?
I think Reyes pretty well dominated. I'd be shocked if McCrory got the decision. We'll see.
All right, let's go to the ring now for the official decision.
Class, Pedro Reyes of Cuba.
So Reyes of Cuba defeats Steve McCrory. Once again, these two fighters will meet on April the 13th. So McCrory will have a chance to get back and even things up in the World Championship Challenge.